Hello children, good morning to you all. Let us start our class with the explanation of the lesson The Land of Ice and Snow. Yesterday I have given you new terms. We read, hope you wrote them 2 times in your notebook. And now we are going to have an explanation about the same lesson. Okay, the name of our lesson is The Land of Ice and Snow. The land of ice and snow, Greenland. Greenland means we are going to learn about the place called Greenland. Understand? So it is very cool nowadays. Since 1 week we are experiencing chilled weather and we are unable to bear it. We wear sweaters and all. We don't even want to put our step on the floor also. And it is horrible for us. ఎంత చల్లగుంది ఎంత చల్లగుంది ఎంత చల్లగుంది how chill it is we think all the time. Understand? You think about the people who live in Greenland. Understand? We have already studied about 3 climatic zones. So we are studying about the countries which lie in these different zones. Understand? We have already studied about the country DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, which is located in the torrid zone. Okay. Now we are going to study about the country which lies in the freezed zone. Understand? Now, such a small fluctuation, a fluctuation in our, what to say, weather, which raised to the chilled fall down of the temperature, we are feeling so cool and all, we are getting even diseases also because of it. You think of those people who live in the place in the freezed zone. Freezed zone is a frozen land. If I show you the diagram of the earth, okay, see, this is torrid zone, which is very hot. And this is temperate zone, which is neither hot nor too cold. And this is freezed zone. This lies between 66.5 degree north to North Pole and 66.5 degrees south to South Pole. Very small area actually, but here the whole land is frozen. Frozen means the land is covered with ice and snow, as it is given in our title. The land is covered with snow. And you imagine, just we are not able to drink cool water also, and soon after taking out the things from the refrigerator also, we don't want to eat them now. Such is the condition. And you think about the people who live there. You think, you may have a doubt, do the people live in such a place also? Yes, they live, they do. Only in the northern hemisphere, North Polar region. We call it even the polar region also, because it is very close to the pole. We call it polar region because it is very close to the poles. In the north we call North Polar region, in the south we call South Polar region. and this area is totally covered with snow. And while explaining you about the climatic zones, I already told you that the sun's rays fall directly on this torrid zone vertically. If it is sun, straightly they fall on this, and on this area they fall little slantingly, and whereas on this area polar region they are very slanting, very slanting. And one thing you should know is, when they fall vertically straightly, they cover very small area of land. Distance between the sun and the earth will be less in that case. When the sun's rays fall slantingly in the temperate zone, where it is neither too hot or nor too cold, in such a place the sun's rays fall little slantingly, means what happens, the sun's temperature and light spreads over a larger area, and the distance between the earth and the sun also will be more. And if you come to freezed zone, the distance between the sun and the land is totally very far. So it takes more time to reach the earth. Sun's temperature takes more time to reach the earth. So what happens, when the sun's rays fall vertically, they cover very short distance here, say up to 10 degrees, 10-degree latitudes from equator. So their distance is less. So what happens? It carries more temperature. Heat will be more here. Whereas in the temperate zone, what happens? Sun's rays spread over a large area, and the distance between the sun and the earth is also more. So it takes little more time to reach the earth. So the area here will not be very hot or very cool. It is moderate, so that we can live in such a place. If it is too cool or too hot, we cannot survive. Now within 1 week we feel, when will we get the sunlight? Yesterday we got sunlight, we felt very happy. Okay, we like to sit in the sun to get the sunlight. Yes or no? Whereas here it takes very more time, I can say, to reach the earth. What happens, the sun's rays carry heat and light, we know. When they reach the sun's rays, reach the polar region, the temperature will not reach the earth at all. Even the light also will not reach, as we get bright light at daytime in our country. It will not happen the same with this polar region. What happens? Because of the very slanting rays, when the sun's rays are very slanting, they do not carry more heat or light. That's why by the time they reach the earth over here, their temperature is totally nil. So that what happens, the land here gets frozen all the time. Land here gets frozen all the time. So whole year the land is covered with a very thick sheet of ice. Understand? So it is very difficult for the people to lead their life. Even then you find such people living in such a climatic zone also. So to know about the life of the people, how do they stay there, how do they survive there, is a big question. To know about all these things, we have taken into consideration one small place, which is Greenland. It is in the North Polar region. It is the island actually. Greenland is an island. Understand? So, we are going to study about Greenland means we will know all about the polar region. Every time we are doing the same thing, we have taken DRC to study about the torrid zone. Now we have taken Greenland for the example, as an example for our study. So, the land of ice and snow, how can it entertain the life of the people over there? How can it support the life of the people over there? We are going to study. So, in this context, what we are going to study about Greenland is its location. Okay. Then climate and vegetation, life of the people over there. Hmm? And now how their life is changing, what about their transport and communication, about their culture, their social activities, everything. So this is, I showed you where the polar region actually lies, where the freezed, where the place polar region. It is between the Arctic Circle and North Pole and Antarctic Circle and the South Pole. So we call it polar region, and it is totally both in the north and in the south totally covered with snow. So we call it freezed zone, as the land is totally frozen over here. The reason for it is the sun's rays will not reach the ground to keep it warm. If the sun's rays reach the earth, what will happen? Ice melts and land appears. That will not happen here. Okay. So, let us go to our lesson Greenland. This is an introduction. Okay. Now, coming to the lesson Greenland. The regions around the North Pole and the South Pole are called polar regions, I told you. There is Arctic Circle, Arctic Ocean around this area. The North Polar region is surrounded by Arctic Ocean, whereas the South Polar region is surrounded by Antarctica, the seventh continent of our earth. Okay. There is Arctic Ocean around the North Pole and Antarctica continent around the South Pole. Arctic Ocean is surrounded by Asia, Europe and North America. The region remains cold throughout the year. We can experience this type of climate condition in Jammu and Kashmir during winter. So, let us study about Greenland now. Let me show it. I will try to show it with the help of this globe. It is a globe, children. You can't, I hope you can't see, even then it is my simple trial how to show. So, here actually, here is the Greenland near the pole. This is North Pole, this is South Pole. Here around the North Pole, you can see blue color, it is Arctic Ocean. And here you see white, it is Antarctica continent. So, around the North Polar region, it is surrounded by Arctic Ocean. In the South Pole, it is surrounded by Antarctica continent. Understand? And you can see some parts of America, Greenland, islands. It is Canada, archipelago of Canada, means group of islands of Canada you can see here in the North Polar region, and Greenland and some parts of Asia also. Understand? So, same thing I am going to show you through the map. Just to see, let me hold it like this. I hope you can see it. Okay? This is Greenland, children. This all part is North Polar region. Here it is Arctic Ocean all above, and these are the islands, group of islands of North America. And here you can see some parts of Europe, then some parts of Asia also are located in this polar region. So what are located? Some island groups here. Some island groups of North America, that is Canada, then Greenland, and some parts of Europe, and some parts of Asia are located in this North Polar region. And here in the South Polar region, here you can see it is surrounded by Antarctica continent. Now coming to Greenland, it is located totally in the North Polar region, and it is surrounded by different oceans. North, it is surrounded by its boundaries, I can call. Here it is North Atlantic Ocean. Here it is having Greenland Sea. To the east it has Greenland Sea. To the west it is having Baffin Bay, Davis Strait, and at the north it has Arctic Ocean. So what are the boundaries of Greenland? North you have Arctic Ocean, to the south you have North Atlantic Ocean, to the east you have Greenland Sea, and to the west you have Baffin Bay and Davis Strait. Understand? And in the middle it is Greenland. As it is totally covered by water, we call it the island, and it is the largest island in the world. Greenland is the largest island in the world. Understand? Greenland is the largest island in the world. And now I showed you the location. Understand? Then we are going to study about it. Its capital is Nuuk. Nuuk is the capital of Greenland. Location. If you talk about the location, it is located in the North Polar region. Its boundaries are in the north Atlantic Ocean, South Atlantic Ocean, North Arctic Ocean, and east it has Greenland Sea, name of the sea. And to the west it has Baffin Bay, as we have Bay of Bengal to the east of India. And then its capital is Nuuk. Nuuk is the capital. Its name was Godthorpe. Old name was Godthorpe. Its old name was Godthorpe. Understand? Then it is located in the east of the Canadian archipelago. Until towards the eastern part of North America, you find Greenland. Okay. The Atlantic, I already showed you all these things. Atlantic Ocean borders to the north side, and Arctic Ocean is in the north. South Atlantic Ocean is North Atlantic Ocean is to the south. In the north you have Arctic Ocean. Eastern side you have Greenland Sea, and to the west you have Baffin Bay. Hmm. And it was a part of Denmark previously. It was not an independent country, it was a part of Denmark. Understand? Means present Netherlands. And all people, where do people live? I said people live. They live to the eastern part of Greenland, western coastal area where the land is clear, which is not so much surrounded by or covered by ice. Major part of this island is under the permanent ice, and it is located at Arctic region. So tomorrow we are going to study about the climate, life of people, everything. Here I stop today. Thank you.